Hello my YouTube friends! Ever take a pair of pants out of the drawer and put them on and find 20 bucks you somehow left in the pocket? Or maybe you were going through a box of old cards and found cash that you left in there. Or maybe a spare 20 that you find under the seat when you're cleaning out the car. There is nothing better than finding something completely unexpected, and that's what today's video is all about. There is a feature in OBS that you can use to create amazing and unique transitions. And it's built right in. A lot of people don't even know it exists. It's awesome. So let me show it to you today. Let's get to it. Don't have to do anything tricky or fancy today. There's no special installs. If you have OBS, you already have everything that you need. So all we're gonna do is jump right into OBS. I'm gonna show you a different way to look at some really cool features that change everything about transitions in OBS. Okay, so initially when you get into OBS, you have basically two transitions that you can use. So I set up two screens here, two scenes, and each scene is slightly different. And you can see right now we are using the fade transition. To go back and forth, we can drop this down and we can select cut transition, and it cuts in between each one very quickly. So if you notice, when we select fade, we have a duration here, and most people don't actually mess around with this, but the duration kind of changes everything. Let me show you what I mean. So the magical, incredible new types of transitions that we have, maybe some that you already know, but you never saw them the way that I'm going to show them. So we're going to click the plus and we're going to go and use something called Luma Wipe. And you can name them whatever you want. If you know what sort of Luma Wipe you're going to use, well, name it that way. But let's just call this one Erase. And I'm going to click the OK button. And basically we're going to drop this down, and you can see that there are probably 50 different little transitions in here that are already created. Things like burst, you can select it and you can test it. So all of these are different transitions that are already built in. What I want to do is go ahead and select something that's kind of interesting. What is the fractal one? Let's try the fractal one. We'll go with chalkboard small. Checkerboard. No, that's not what we want. Cloud, fan, fractal, iris, zigzag. What is this? Sinus. Oh, that's kind of interesting. So we can adjust the softness. That's just the edges. We're going to leave this the way it is, and we're going to do this. And here's what it looks like just out of the box. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But we can really change this up quite a bit by going and selecting our duration over here. Maybe instead of 300 milliseconds, let's make it a 3-second transition with 3000 milliseconds. And now we get something completely unique and different. Now you can actually do something with that. And this maybe isn't the best example, but it's pretty cool. What I'm going to do is click on our little thing over here, and we're going to go into properties, and I'm going to select a different one, but we're going to leave it on 3000. Let's see what watercolor is. Yeah, see, that's kind of what I'm looking for here. All right, so it basically looks like you're erasing one screen and adding another. Now that is pretty cool, and there is a lot that you could do with this just by adjusting the time. Let me show you what I mean. So we're going to go in and click the plus. We're going to do another Luma Wipe. Let's call this one clock. And we'll click OK. And we're just going to drop this down, and we'll select the clock one. Where is it? Here. Right there. And we could preview this. And you could see we are on a 1000. Changed it up a little bit here. I don't like 1000 quite so much for this one. Let's make it 2000. And test it. And I really think that just by simply changing the amount of time that a transition like this takes to perform, you just completely change it. It's a way that nobody has ever really seen before. But you don't just have to set them up over here and use the duration over here and, you know, switch back and forth. Sure you can, but I think that erase looks better when it's 3000 milliseconds and clock looks better when it's 2000 milliseconds. And maybe you want to change the time for each one. Well, it's pretty simple. So I'm going to start with scene 1 here, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to transition override, and we're going to set erase transition for this one. And then I'm going to right click again, and we're going to go to transition override, and we're going to come down here and we're going to make sure that it is 3000 milliseconds, which it is. So our erase transition will happen when we switch to scene, and it's going to be in 3000 millisecond increments. And then I'm going to switch to scene 2, and I'm going to right click on here, and we're going to go to transition override, and we're going to set our clock for that. But I like the clock to run at 2000 milliseconds. So we're going to come down here, and we're just going to make sure that that's 2000 milliseconds. There we go. And so we're all set with that. So now we can go here. It's a 3000 millisecond transition. We go to here. We're getting the 2000 millisecond clock transition. So you can do this with any. You can experiment with different timings, and it just makes a transition into something completely different than what anyone has really ever seen before in OBS. And these are right in there. Let me add another scene here. We'll go with scene 3, and we're going to click the plus, and I'm going to go to our video capture device, and we'll just add our camera in here again. And this time we'll sync it down here, and we can put our background in here just to add another scene that we can play around with. And we'll move that down. Boom. All right, and so let's get another transition. We'll click the plus here, and we're going to go to our Luma wipe. So let's do that one. And click OK. Now I think maybe this one is a little bit too long, so I'm going to set this one to 1000 milliseconds. We can go into here and we get the clock, right? And then when we go into here, we're going to get that zigzaggy thing. So if I right click and we want to set the override for it, we'll click the Luma wipe right here, and we want to right click again, and we want to go into our thing here, and I do want to do 1000 milliseconds for the zigzaggy thing. And you'll be able to see it a lot easier when we go from this scene to this scene. And that's awesome. So really all this is just looking at something in a completely different way. These functions and features always existed right here in OBS. We just really never had time to explore it. And today's video is all about showing you some simple settings where you can add a different transition to every single scene, and those transitions can be unique and something that no one's ever seen, that's built right in. And people are going to say, wow, how did you do that? Well, these transitions are built right in, and all we really did was just change the timing on the transitions. It's pretty fun, pretty cool, and there's so much more that you can do with these, because as you can see, there's like 50 different Luma wipes, and just changing the timing on each one gives them a completely different look that people are going to say, wow, I haven't seen that before. It's really that simple. I'm telling you, it's really easy. Now, if you want to see how to create some easy custom transitions in DaVinci Resolve that are different from the ones I showed you today, you should check this video out. And if you're always looking for tools, tips, and tricks to help make you a better live streamer or YouTuber, subscribe to the channel. My name is Michael Fryer Jr. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.